Welcome back, YouTubers, to another WWE vlog in HD with me, Daniel Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me who's bloody well looking forward to making this video, and he's going to say something really cool when I point at him. It's NJ.
What's up?
He loves doing that, don't you, NJ?
He's very good.
Today, we're going to be doing a video explaining how WWE have dropped the ball with two British superstars in Sheamus and Wade Barrett. As I'm sure we all know, a lot of people, they dropped the ball with Wade Barrett and Sheamus big time over these last couple of months. But before we go into that, make sure you guys subscribe up above as NJ is showing you, like the video and comment down below. Boy, that is just getting so in sync now, isn't it?
And in the description box below you'll see links. Click them and keep in contact with us.
Make sure you click the links. But anyway, let's get into this video.
Yeah.
Like I said in the introduction, as you all know, WWE have majorly dropped the ball with people like Wade Barrett and Sheamus. They probably should be main eventers by now. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to say how WWE built these guys up and then how they dropped the ball with them big time now, post-WrestleMania. And we're going to start off with none other than Wade Barrett. NJ, do you want to get us started off on this? You have vivid memories of the Nexus days.
The
you have a Nexus shirt.
I did. Well, I do, but obviously I'm not wearing it. The thing is, we're not going to forget about Nexus for maybe ever, because what they did on their first night was unbelievably. It was news. If there's a WWE newspaper, it'll be on the front. It would have been on the front page for week after week.
It's called WWE.com.
Yeah, we could look on there, and they were unbelievably a great faction.
Yeah,
they caused big headlines, and yeah, they're just one of the greatest.
It was something new and fresh into Raw, wasn't it? And at the head of this group, you had someone by the name of Wade Barrett who'd come up from NXT, and they straight away got into the main event, didn't they? Against John Cena in one of the bigger rivalries, probably the best feuds of 2010.
Well, some people say that people who come into WWE and go straight to the main event don't deserve it, but the way Wade did with Nexus, he definitely deserves this.
He was a fantastic heel, wasn't he? Not only did he manage to gain himself heel heat, but he also managed to... Because let's not forget at the time, John Cena was getting a hell of a lot of boos because people are fed up with him, including yourself. And Wade Barrett did such a good job in his heel gimmick that he actually managed to get Cena cheers, which was very rare at the time because a lot of people were booing him, like I said.
True, and the thing is, the Cena storyline with Wade...
Oh, God.
It eventually become... Well, before I get into that, NXT winner, #1, gets a title shot. Yes! Well done, Wade, for getting it. And he had at least 3, 4, and he lost every single one thanks to that.
And it was this was at a time when you had a new guy there who you really wanted to elevate because he'd done some great work as a heel. Yeah,
he did.
He was he was the head of a faction that could run riot through Raw. It was the right time to give him the title, wasn't it? It was the right time to legitimize him and to even go as far as to give Cena a heel turn.
What I'm going to say is that, yeah, have Wade lose the first one, that's expectable because it's his first title match. But when it comes to past the first one, then you need to start giving Wade more of a chance of winning. You could have made at least win one of them. And
you see at this point now where Wade Barrett's been built up as a top heel, you now see where WWE have dropped the ball like I've metaphorically just showed you there.
That's true.
And this kind of carried on, because you had the end of the Nexus feud, which again Cena won, of course, because he's the big baby face in WWE, blah, 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 blah.
The thing is, talk about the breakup, they broke him up in a bit of a sad way, because basically Wade was injured because of Cena, and then Nexus just left on their own, and then they obviously brought Punk into this.
Yeah. And
then it all went from Nexus being up here to gradually going down.
Yeah, and then we had Barrett appear on SmackDown, which we at first thought could be good for him because we thought he might have a singles run. But then again, he attacked Big Show and then all of a sudden made this group called The Core, which at first we thought would be very good until we realised it wasn't made to put someone like Wade Barrett over. It was made to put Ezekiel Jackson and Justin Gabriel over, as we've seen in this last week of SmackDown. Ezekiel Jackson is now being developed as a face.
Thing is about this is, again, with the end of, let's say they're breaking up, let's just go with that. At the end of it, you do see the Core, apart from Zeke, standing behind Wade.
Yeah.
Giving Wade maybe the end of the Core is more about
It's going to be about Wade Barrett versus Zeke, but at the end of the day, I think Zeke will come out on top because he's the major, he's the baby, he's the guy turning babyface, and he's the guy they're trying to put over, would you say? Rather than someone like Wade Barrett, who probably deserves to push more.
I'm saying...
Again, another example of it.
Now we've got probably Zeke versus Wade. I think this is going to be great, because obviously, even though Wade's probably going to fail in this, because obviously it's all about Zeke.
Yes.
I still think WWE should make Wade look strong during this, and then obviously after their rivalry, there you go. That ball you dropped with Wade could maybe be repaired maybe, caught, yeah,
metaphorically.
If you make Wade look strong during this.
But one thing I want to go back on, I know because I'm going to talk about the Triple H Undertaker feud. I know you enjoyed the Triple H Undertaker feud, but when Undertaker got injured in his Buried Alive match, or took time out, he got taken out by Nexus. Now, one of the logical storylines going into WrestleMania would be to have Undertaker versus Wade Barrett. Would you agree? I know that the Triple H Undertaker match was very good, but as a logical storyline, it would have made sense, and it would have put over Wade Barrett a lot better than he's been now. And that's one of the ways they've dropped the ball with him. They haven't put him in this big rivalry. They've just kept him in the core. They've kept him low key. And at WrestleMania, they had a 1.5 minute match which really did nothing but demolish him as a wrestler.
Because the sad thing about this is, if you haven't heard by now, Undertaker is thinking of retiring.
Yes.
So this Wade versus Take thing might not happen. So they've kind of messed that up now.
Yeah.
If their plan was to maybe have them face each other later, it looks like it's going to happen now. Because if Take retire any minute, and then that can't happen. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's a bit disappointing you don't get to see Wade versus Taker, but...
So you see now how by WWE, by overlooking their young talent, as much as they put on a great match at WrestleMania, they could have really legitimised some of their young talent, especially someone like Wade Barrett, who we both did agree definitely deserves a push to the title, or just a push in general, right? So you see how WWE may have overlooked their young talent slightly there for a good match at WrestleMania, which, to be honest with you, made WrestleMania because the rest of it wasn't that good.
That's true. Well, let's just try and look past this. We now need someone to put Wade Barrett over after the Zeke rivalry. We need someone to put him over.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Taker, because obviously he's going to be retiring and doesn't really have time to face Wade. So I'm thinking someone needs to do it so Wade can go back up to where he should be, which is in the main event.
Because let's face it, Zeke ain't going to put him over.
Well, Zeke's not one of those big...
But we do need someone on SmackDown to put him over into the main event. Because let's face it, at the moment, like we did in one of our last videos, we found that there's not very many credible main event heels. And Wade Barrett is one of those guys that could really go up there and do a good job as a heel, especially on SmackDown, the show, the B show, so to speak. He's one of those guys that could definitely do a job. But he needs to be pushed right, which he hasn't been done at the moment, which is one of the reasons why WWE dropped the ball with him, because they haven't put him in that main event status. They should have built him up to that already, would you agree?
They should have, but obviously all we can do now is go with what WWE are going to do. And hope. After their rivalry with Zeke, it happens.
Please. Not only are they going to break up the core, hopefully, but hopefully they'll elevate Barrett to some way which they haven't done since his leadership of Nexus.
That's true, because now he's going to be out. Because I don't think... It's not going to end up with a 3-member of...
No.
It's not going to be Wade.
Justin Gage will probably go off on its own.
Yeah.
Zeke will go off on its own, which means he will have to go off on its own as well.
Yeah, it's all going to end. So now you've got a great chance to push every one of them, especially Wade.
So those are the reasons why WWE have dropped the ball with Wade Barrett. We do feel he deserves a push, but they've definitely dropped the ball with him big time, especially since I think it was Survivor Series when he lost to John Cena, when he lost to Randy Orton in that match with John Cena, I believe. And John Cena got fired for the stupidest storyline of the year, in my opinion, but there you go.
And now, our last words for Wade is that repair what you've done.
Yeah, and hopefully WWE will do that, especially on SmackDown. Yeah. Anyway, the next guy we're going to talk about, as I said in the introduction, is the fella from Ireland. It's Sheamus, the WWE two-time champion fella.
And King of the Ring.
Oh, God, yeah. So, in Sheamus, we got this guy who came into WWE very... he got a title shot very early on in his career. He didn't really legitimise himself as a main eventer because he was built too quickly. But then, over the time, he did get built quite well. He got built as a main event guy on Raw. But then, he kind of teetered off and won King of the Ring and then went on a losing streak, didn't he?
Well, the thing is, we had John Cena, who I feel started to put him over.
Oh yeah, in that tables match.
Yeah.
No one expected that, did they?
No. But there we go. You had a big guy, Cena, put someone who was getting towards the main event, put him over. Good. That's great for Sheamus.
And although his title run wasn't legitimate, at least they gave him the chance to win the title.
Then there was Orton.
Yeah.
There's many people who put Sheamus over, so you were doing so many great things for Sheamus. And then, as Dan said, then that eventually came King of the Ring, and since then.
Yeah, but at the same time with that, although he was a legitimate champion, he got lost in storylines with Orton and Cena. That was the problem with his title run. But then he won King of the Ring, which we thought might be his big elevation. Then they have John Morrison win this #1 contendership match, which was right in my opinion. But then after that, they just proceeded to bury him and bury him and bury him and bury him. And they might as well just dug him an early grave because they buried him so bloody much.
And talk about burying, that comes on to Triple H. Because Triple H kind of did a good job at burying him. As soon as Triple H returns, we have Sheamus come out and say, "Yeah, I'm going to come and get you again."
Buried.
And then,
and again, this kind of brings me back to WrestleMania. The logical feud going to WrestleMania would have been Triple H versus Sheamus. Would you agree? I know, the Undertaker Triple H match was a great match and a good feud, despite the way it was built up, in my opinion. But we have different opinions about that. But the logical thing there would have been Sheamus versus Triple H, because Sheamus was the guy that took Triple H out, and Triple H should have put him over at WrestleMania rather than have to face Taker. Although it was a great match.
Triple H versus Sheamus at WrestleMania. It sounds like it's got a good ring to it. But
in some sort of return for Triple H, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, again, that match would have been good because people would have wanted to see that.
Again, they're kind of overlooking a young guy there in favour of a good match. But, again, it was a great match. I can't complain about it. So
then looking past WrestleMania, since WrestleMania to now, Sheamus is gradually, I can see him becoming more better again.
Well, he won the US title, and he kind of, after being buried, he kind of developed himself as a mid-carder. So we can only hope from now that WWE legitimise him as a main eventer on SmackDown, because let's face it, like we said in the last about Wade Barrett, they haven't got very many bloody heels on SmackDown that are any good.
No.
So hopefully they can build him as a heel.
I'm thinking Sheamus in the past has shown us that he's a great heel. Like when he first started, he took out wrestlers, he won important matches.
I mean, British people on the whole are considered heels, aren't they? Because of the way their attitude and stuff. Especially in America, they're automatically considered heels. People like Sheamus, Barrett, Regal.
I'm thinking with Sheamus going exactly what we did with Wade. I think now he's not a champion. Now he's got probably a career path in mind. I think you should make him become a heel and go climb back to the top.
So we've seen, basically over these last sort of year or so, we've seen Sheamus rising, falling to the pretty much being an undercarder. But let's not forget, at WrestleMania, he was in the dark match, for the US Championship. That's which buries him automatically, kind of. But hopefully they do regain it. It will take a long time because let's face it, it will be very hard for WWE to legitimise him at the moment. The way he's been built, would you say?
I'm thinking Sheamus.
You love Wade Barrett too much.
Yeah, I enjoy talking.
You got Wade Barrett on the brain, mate.
So I enjoyed speaking about him. I enjoyed it. But with Sheamus, again, I'm not feeling Sheamus at the minute. That's why I was struggling to keep in contact with Sheamus. But I'm saying with Sheamus...
Barrett.
Yeah, come on. I think Sheamus is now on the path because we've seen him win matches. We've seen him look good in matches. I'm saying he's on the path to maybe. You're saying it take a while, but I'm thinking if they continue to make him look good in matches, maybe won't be as long as what we think it could be.
So you do agree that the WWE have dropped the ball big time with Sheamus in terms of his main event status, but they can get him back up there if they really try.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing now. We've seen him doing pretty good over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Sheamus, go back towards the main event, then probably go back to having your feud with maybe Orton or whoever the champ is at the time, and go.
Well, that's it. At the end of the day, they need to develop these stars because they're going to lose Undertaker, probably Triple H soon, Rey Mysterio. People like they're going to lose those guys, and they need to develop stars quick. And this is one of the ways they could do it, especially with guys like Sheamus and Wade Barrett, where they push so much at one point. Do you know what I mean? This is kind of the thing they need to do, but they need to stop dropping the ball with people like Wade Barrett and Sheamus because they're the future. Let's face it. They're the guys we're going to probably see in the future as main eventers, right?
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying now, again, like I did with Wade Barrett, I'm going to analyse this last bit.
Oh, go on.
Right. Sheamus is now at the stage in his career where He's proven himself as a heel. He's proven himself as a champion, either the World Heavyweight, WWE, or the...
Even as a mid-carder.
Yeah, he's proven himself as all that. So I'm saying now you've got him, not a US champion or Intercontinental, whatever it is. It's time to bring him back up.
Yes, definitely on SmackDown. Because let's face it, SmackDown needs it at the moment, right?
Yes, because at the minute, the draft, again,
screwed over SmackDown.
It messed up, but like I said, we've made videos, we've spoken about points where SmackDown could fix the draft problems.
So listen to us.
Yeah.
Listen to the British Fist.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, NJ, do you have anything else to say about Wade Barrett and Sheamus being...
Wade, I can go on, but Sheamus, I'm just saying, keep proving yourself.
Yeah. So you've seen in this video how we feel WWE have dropped the ball with Wade Barrett and Sheamus, but you've also seen from us how we feel they could build them back up. So we've looked at the negatives and we looked at the positives as well, just to even this video helps.
Yeah.
And on that note, I believe, unless you have anything else to say, I know you can talk about Wade Barrett all day, so can I. We've got to end this video at some point.
Let's end it.
Right then. You guys out there, do you think WWE will drop the ball with Wade Barrett and Sheamus? If you do, or even if you don't, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. We always love to hear your thoughts. Or video responses alternatively as well. We always approve video responses. Other than that, that has been it from us, the British Fist.
Ka-ching.
Thank you very much for watching once again to the subscribers out there, and goodbye.